My name is Sean Thorpe, and I am a portfolio manager and analyst at Aristotle Capital. One of the questions that I often get is, what makes Aristotle different? What makes you special? Why should I trust you as a steward of my capital? There are three things that I truly believe make us genuinely different from our peers, and there are three things that anyone who's considering hiring us should look at, analyze, and understand. The first is that we really are long-term investors that think like owners, but when you look into the detail, they really aren't. Our target hold period is 3 to 5 years, and we often hold for much longer. We view ourselves as investors in companies, not traders of stocks. This gives us a much longer-term investment horizon. It really allows us to let our investments run, and is a much more logical way to invest, in our opinion. If you look at the international strategy, for example, this is the strategy that I run with Jeff Stewart and Howard Gleischer. You'll see that our average holding period is just over 3 years. 9 of our positions, roughly a quarter of the portfolio, have been held for more than 5 years. Many of these longer-term holdings have the best returns across the portfolio. Even though we look at companies as if we're a private equity firm, and we try to think like owners, we don't have to sell at the end of our 3 to 5 year investment horizon. We're willing to hold much longer if need be, as long as there remains sufficient upside. The second thing that I believe makes us different is concentration, legitimate concentration. The international strategy currently has 37 holdings and will always hold between 30 to 40 positions. We think that this particular range of holdings is ideal for two primary purposes. The first is that above 20 individual securities, you have sufficient diversification that has taken a lot of the risk off the table, as long as you're not buying and holding 20 identical or highly correlated companies. The second reason is that with less than 40 holdings, you have a manageable collection of companies, which allows our analysts to dive in deep and really understand each of the companies that they cover. However, the position size here is big enough that it can actually make a difference and have an impact on the portfolio. These two things are very important to us, and they're critical to what we do here at Aristotle across all of the strategies that we run. The last key differentiator, which I would argue is the most important of the three, has to do with the portfolio management team. This is a business where you're hiring people. This industry is all about who you hire. Do you trust them? Do you have the same long-term vision? Are they going to be good stewards of capital? And do you think alike? The team that you have here has 3 very different backgrounds. I've been in finance now for 28 years in a variety of different roles. I started my career in investment banking. I helped build several companies. I worked outside of the United States for a good portion of my career in the private equity industry, and I was also an activist investor for a bit. It's a very different path that you may find with many different PMs out there, and this has provided me with hands-on experience working in operating companies in different parts of the globe. Jeff Stewart's been a value investor in public equities for his entire 18-year career. He spent a number of years with Oppenheimer as an investor in the public markets, and the last 9 years with me here at Aristotle, building, designing, constructing, and running this portfolio. Howard Gleischer, our CIO, is also a portfolio manager on the strategy. He has more than 30 years of industry experience. The three of us, with 3 very different lenses and 3 very different paths, I believe create a team that looks at things quite differently than most PM teams. I think the combination of the lenses through which we look really allows us to see things differently and to avoid potential value traps and really identify what are the best companies around the world to invest in. It's a combination of these 3 items: concentration, having a long-term focus, and the backgrounds of the 3 PMs that, in my mind, really makes us different and really makes what we do here at Aristotle, I believe, quite special. The last thing I'll address, which is a critical question, is, are you personally invested in the strategy? And the answer is absolutely yes. We have a broad distribution of equity across the firm. I have equity in the firm, and I have my own money invested in the strategy. To put it simply, I eat my own cooking. So I don't benefit unless I do well, and if I don't do well, I also feel the pain. I think that's absolutely essential when you're looking to hire an asset manager. I hope that helps you understand what I believe is unique and different here at Aristotle Capital.